Welcome back to another episode of CAD Jungle. In today's episode, we're going to be modeling this metal zipper head. Let's get started. Let's start out by creating a new component. Let's call it zipper head. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's create a sketch. Select the top view. Select this plane. Let's start out by creating a center rectangle. We'll make the line type construction. And we'll add some dimensions. So this top edge is going to be about 8 millimeters. And the left edge is going to be about 10 millimeters. Okay. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and use the line tool. Draw a line from this point to this point, from the center point to the bottom. All right. Turn off construction. Let's go ahead and use a 3-point arc. And we'll do this as follows. Let's go ahead and make the arc tangent to the top. It's tangent constraint. Let's go ahead and give it a horizontal constraint on both ends. All right. Let's also use a 3-point arc again. And make sure they're connected. Let's make them tangent to each other. And let's go ahead and make this arc tangent to this left edge. Okay. Now let's go ahead and use the line tool and draw a straight line. Left click and then hold. So we'll make a curve. Release and then let it drag all the way down vertically. Left click and then drag it all the way to this edge here. Okay. Now let's go ahead and make sure that this line here is tangent with this one. Okay. And that should close that out for us. All right. So let's go ahead and add some dimensions. Let's go ahead and let's make this arc here 1.5 millimeters. Actually, let's go ahead and make the top arc 10 millimeters. Just that radius. Okay. Let's bring this in some. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and make this line 0.5 millimeters. All right. This arc here, let's make 8 millimeters. The angle from this line to this line, let's make 7 millimeters. The angle from this line here to this line here will make 30 degrees. Okay. And now let's use the mirror command. Select the left profile, everything but the top arc. Select the mirror line. Click OK. We're going to take the coincident constraint and connect these two edges here. And now the sketch is fully defined. Let's go ahead and finish the sketch. Let's use the extrude command. Make it 4 millimeters. We want it to be symmetric. It's going to be the whole length. Click OK. Let's go ahead and add a fillet to this bottom edge here. We'll make this about 3 millimeters. All right. Now we're going to make a sketch on the right plane. Let's rotate it again so we'll make things easy. Hit the P key for the project command. Select this edge here. Click OK. Let's go ahead and start our line profile. We're going to create like a U shape. Okay. Let's use the offset tool. Make sure change selection is not selected. Select these edges here. Make it -1. So it'll be on the inside. Click OK. All right. And we basically made these two constrained to each other. All right. Now let's go ahead and add some dimensions. So from this point to this edge, we want the distance to be about 1.5 millimeters. Okay. We want the length of this line here to be 2.5 millimeters. The distance from this line to this edge, we want to be 0.5 millimeters. The length of this line here, we want to be 5 millimeters. And now that sketch is also fully defined. Let's go ahead and finish the sketch. Once again, select the extrude tool, type in the number 2, want it to be symmetric, whole length, and click OK. Now let's go ahead and add a series of fillets. Fillet command, or the F key, select the inside. We'll make this 0.5. Hit the plus symbol. And we're going to go ahead and select this edge and this edge. I'm going to make this 1.5. And click OK. Let's use the fillet command again. Select this edge, this edge, this edge, and the inside edge that pops up. And we'll make this 0.5 as well. And click OK. All right, let's go ahead and make a plane, a mid-plane between these two faces. So use the mid-plane command, or just hit construct, go down to mid-plane, select this top face, select the bottom face, and it puts a plane in the middle. Click OK. Let's go ahead and let's create a sketch on the plane we just created. All right. I'm going to take this also a little bit slower. That way you guys can keep up, because it gets a little complicated, but you'll figure it out in a sec. All right. So let's go ahead and use the 3-point arc. Draw our arc out here, put it here. Make sure that it doesn't have any constraints, and we'll put it there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and use the line command. Make a construction line from the center point to this point, from the center point to the bottom. Okay. And that's that. All right. So let's add some dimensions so we can lock up this arc. So from this point to this point, we want it to be 1.9 millimeters. Okay. All right. What I want is this point here to be coincident with this line. All right. Let's go ahead and make this arc 25 millimeters. All right. It's jumping around on me. That's okay. Not a big deal. We'll resolve that in a second. Actually, that should be 1.9, not 19. Okay. Alrighty. Now, let's go ahead and dimension this point to this point to be 11 millimeters. Okay. Let's go ahead and make this point of the arc to this point 1.8 millimeters. Okay. Let's go ahead and select the line tool. Make sure construction is turned off. Let's start the profile. From this point, I'm going to draw a line over and down. Make sure it's vertical or perpendicular. And we can stop right there. Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure that this point here is vertically constrained. All right. Let's go ahead and add some more dimensions. Bring this over here. We'll make this line about 11.5 millimeters. Why does that happen? 11.5. Okay, there we go. This line here, the length of this line is going to be 4.5 millimeters. And now this sketch is fully defined. We're going to now use the mirror command. We're going to select this profile, the outer lines, select the mirror line, click OK. Now the sketch is fully defined and we're now ready to extrude. So finish the sketch. We're going to use the extrude command. We want the direction to be set to symmetric. Okay. And we want the distance to be 2.5 millimeters. And we want the measurement to be whole length. Operation is cut. Click OK. Let's add a fillet to this edge. We'll make this 0.2 millimeters. Okay. Now let's go ahead and create a sketch on this face. Go ahead and use the offset command. Make sure change selection is selected. We want this to be -1. I'm sorry, -0.5, sorry. Click OK. All right. So what we want to do here is use the line command. Let's create a line here to here. We're going to create a line from here to the top. We're going to give this line a vertical constraint. We're also going to make it tangent with this arc here. For the bottom line, the distance from here to here, we want to be 3 millimeters. Okay. Now let's use the mirror command to mirror both of those lines. But before we do that, let's go ahead and create a construction line. All we need is one. All right. So I'll use the mirror command. Select this line we just created and this line we just created. For the mirror line, let's go ahead and select this line here and click OK. Let's go ahead and finish the sketch. Once again, use the extrude tool. Select this edge here, this edge here. Okay, make it 0.75. Operation is going to be joined. Click OK. Now let's go ahead and turn back on that construction plane. Okay. We'll use the mirror command again. Select features. Select this extrusion. Mirror plane is going to be this plane here. Compute option is going to be identical. Click OK. All right. We can now turn off the construction plane and add some fillets. Select this edge here, and that edge there. We'll make it 0.5 millimeters. We'll go ahead and use the fillet command again. Select this edge and this edge here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and make that 0.25 millimeters. Okay. Let's go ahead and add some more fillets. It's going to be the edge fillets for the most part. Select these profiles. Select most of the edges here. Make this 0.08. Click OK. All right. I think we might have forgot some edges. Let's back up again. Edit feature. Hit the control key. Select this edge. Select that edge. Okay, now we're finished. All right. There we have it. Let's see what it looks like in a different way. All right. Without the lines. It's coming together nicely. Turn back on the lines. Now, let's go ahead and make the handle. Create a new component. And we'll call this handle. Okay. All right. Now we're going to create a sketch. We're going to put it on this face here. All right. I'm going to create two circles. Okay. Two circles inside of each other. We're going to go ahead and give them some dimensions. This circle is going to be 5 millimeters. And this circle is going to be about 3.75 millimeters. Okay. Let's give it a vertical constraint to the center point. All right. And let's give it a distance. The distance from the center point, we're going to make it about 1.75 millimeters. And that's fully defined. And let's go ahead and start adding some lines to make the handle. Okay, so we use the line command. We don't want it to attach to any constraints. Let's go ahead and turn off the zipper head for a second. All right, we can just drag this down like so, left click, and then we create somewhat of an arc like that. And then let's go ahead and end that. Start again, and we can create another arc about right there. And end it. Okay? Make sure that these lines are exactly the way we need them to be. So let's go ahead and make this line coincident with this edge and also make it tangent with that edge. Okay? It's important to correct things as you can as you go. Okay? Let's go ahead and make this 4 millimeters. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and create a construction line to this point here. Give it a vertical constraint. Let's set the distance of this line to be about 15 millimeters. Right? Let's go ahead and give this arc a radius of 18 millimeters. All right, sketch is fully defined for now. Let's go ahead and use the mirror command and select this profile here. Okay, and then we'll select this as the mirror line. Click OK. What we want to do is take the coincident constraint and make these two lines coincident with each other. All right. Now that sketch is fully defined. And what we want to do now is use the offset command. Make sure change selections off. Select this profile, and also line type construction should be off. Okay. We want this to be 1 millimeter on the inside. So it's correct. Click OK. Use the line tool and bring these two together. All right. Let's go ahead and finish the sketch. Let's bring back the zipper head view. Okay. Now we're going to use the extrude command. What we want to do is we want to offset this off of that face. We're going to offset it about 0.27 millimeters. And we want to select the profile in its entirety. Okay. And we want it to be 1 millimeter. Select new body. Now we can go ahead and hide the zipper head again. All right. Let's go ahead and add some fillets. Make this 0.5. And let's create a mid plane. Select this face, click OK. Let's hide that plane for now. Let's go ahead and create a sketch on this face though. All right. Let's use the offset command. Change selection should be selected this time. And we want it to be -0.5. Click OK. Finish the sketch. Let's use the extrude tool. Select the inside profile. So let's go ahead and make this -0.2. All right. Let's go ahead and use the mirror command. Turn that plane back on. Mirror plane is going to be this plane here. Features is going to be the extrusion we just created. Compute option is going to be set to identical. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn that plane back off. Okay. Now let's go ahead and add some fillets. Select these edges. Okay. Let's make this 0.2 millimeters. Click OK. Let's go ahead and bring back the zipper head. Select this point at the top so we make them all visible. Okay. Let's go back to the handle. Turn off the zipper head. We just wanted to do a quick check on it, make sure everything's good to go. So let's create a sketch on this face here. Let's rotate it. Okay. So let's use the construction line because we wanted to make it even. So from this point to this point. And let's add text. Let's try that again. Okay. Let's just call this CAD Jungle Incorporated. The font I like to use is called American Captain. The height's going to be 0.5 millimeters. Let's go ahead and just add those letters. I'm just getting a little funky with it. Let's go ahead and make it center aligned. I want this to be symmetric, so let's select this point, and that line. We made it symmetric. I want it to be like that. There we go. Let's go ahead and finish the sketch. Let's use the extrude tool because we want to extrude the text we just created. All right. And let's make it 0.03 millimeters. Operation set to join. Click OK. All right. Now, you don't have to do this step, but I like to do this because it gives the letters a little bit more pop. So let's go ahead and use the fillet command. And let's just select all the letters, the faces of all the letters. And let's make this 0.025 millimeters. All right. Click OK. All right. Let's bring back the entire assembly. Unhide zipper head. Okay. And that's what you got. All right. Let's go ahead and give it some texture. Let's make it aluminum. Let's make it gray for both. Let's take this glossy gray and let's add a bump map to it. So relief pattern bump. You can go and you can choose a bump map. I went to Substance by Adobe and I grabbed some of their materials and grabbed some of the texture maps and I basically exported them. So I'm going to use this painted metal chip normal map. Okay, I'm going to click on that. Take the data tag, make it normal so it looks more realistic and not as grainy, because it's not a height map, it's a normal map. Okay, we can kind of see what it'll look like, and we can change the density on it. So I'll go back again. Scale, let's change it, bring it down a little bit so it'll look a little worn. Roughness, let's increase that. Let's go to render real quick, see what it does. Okay. Let's go to in-canvas render. Let's start changing up the lighting. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. And in real time, we can always go and change it. We can add even more. So let's go back and add scale. All right. I think that looks better. Well, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this tutorial about making a metal zipper head. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.